Yeah.
Basic what? Make and follow a basic. There should be more to that.
Schedule, I guess.
Schedule?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the way I was from get talk today.
Okay. Well, schedule is you know what a schedule is, right?
Yeah.
I don't really have a schedule myself, but when you start working, especially if you work full-time at some point, it'll be important for you to do a schedule, even if it's just in your head. But what that does is, we've got a day is 24 hours long, right? We figure we have 8 to 10 hours of sleep and maybe 4 to 8 hours of work. So that other 4 or 5 hours, kind of our time, we need to make the best of. If we were just to not know what to do during that time, we'd find ourselves behind schedule with laundry. We'd find ourselves without food in the pantry. I heard that. Oh God! Why did you do that? You find yourself with it. So basically, there are people that work well with schedules. Like your schedule may be in your head. Okay, well, since I work 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. every night at the store or the restaurant or wherever I do, I know that I probably am going to wake up. I probably should wake up by 9 a.m. because I need to eat. I need to prepare myself for the day, shave, shower. I need to make sure my clothes for my job are ready for the night. And I need to make sure to take the trash out and do one load of laundry.
Okay.
If you plan those out knowing that the shower takes 30 minutes, the laundry takes an hour, but you don't have to sit there with it. Grocery store takes an hour. If you plan these things out, you'll know, okay, then I have 3 hours to myself. And then you can do whatever you want in that 3 hours. And then you know that, well, at 6:45, I have to stop, and I got to start to get ready to go to work. You don't always have to write that down. Maybe it's good to write it down when you start, but if not, you got it in your head. You kind of know when to do things. And some of these schedules, they have flexibility. You can say, well, on the weekend is kind of my day, but I still know I probably should do laundry and do house cleanup. Get those out, get them over with. Get them out. I mean, I like to get them over with. I don't like to have all my fun and then before I go to bed, I gotta clean the house. I hate that. So you get those done and over with. Like you always say, let's get it over with and get it done. And then I don't have to worry about it hanging over my head. Something I gotta do.
Okay.
Schedule will be more important if you're doing work and school at the same time. If you work, let's say, part-time and you're in like 1 or 2 classes a week, it'll be pretty important to know what time to do things. Like when to get ready to go to school, like when to have your lunch so you don't have to be rushed and you have time to go to work, or when you get back at 9 o'clock at night. If you work 4 days, you get back at 9. How much time you have before you say I should really go to bed by 11 if I'm going to wake up in time and be well rested for work. So I think if I got anything I got to do during this period, like I have my schedule. The most schedule I ever had is when I was working in the hospital and in school before I met your mom. And I would know that every day I would work from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. I also knew that I had classes on certain other days and certain times. I planned it really well. I didn't have to go to work after school or go to school after work. But this time I needed a schedule. I needed to know when I had to be at school, when I had to be there for class, how long class was going to take. And if writing it down helps, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm sure there are people that have schedules. They used to have day planners, which they don't have them anymore. It was like a book you carry with you that showed the day, all the different hours of the day. And that might be nice for you to start with. Get you a really basic day planner. When you start working and we have classes, you can write down your whole week in advance.
Are we passing Birmingham yet?
We're going to go through Birmingham. I'm going to get the name. Want to go through Birmingham?
Yes.
So a day planner is nice. You can also get a calendar and write on a calendar. Those are ways to keep a schedule. And again, the whole idea of a schedule is to make sure that you have enough free time to do the things you love. You have enough sleep time.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
You have enough sleep time.
You gotta pay attention, buddy.
I know. Well, I'm also trying to focus on teaching you a few things.
Okay, sorry.
So you're getting my brain really going here. It's just important. And all these things I tell you don't mean anything unless you practice them.
Okay.
Just from what I've told you, replaying a video is not gonna teach you how to do it. You gotta. What was that look for?
I know that. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you know that. Okay, well then I guess you know all these things.
No! It's not. I'm sorry. Yes, I know. It's teaching me. I know.
That person can tell you a lot of things, but you learn by doing. So this happens when you drive and you're trying to. As I was driving distracted, I was trying to teach you something. It probably would have been better done sitting at home instead of being in a car. I have to focus on rush hour traffic as well.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
I didn't mean to snap at you.
I wasn't the guy, but. So those are your lessons, and those are things like I said, we've discussed them, but you have to practice them. to learn them.
That's right.
So as we do things, you can tell me, you can say to me this week, can we practice
Yes.
a shopping list? Can we practice laundry? Can we practice cleaning? That's the stuff for you to learn the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I get the basis of the how to make a shopping list. Besides, if you want to cook like a meal, you gotta get all the ingredients you need to find. So I'm over that part.
And there are going to be some things you'll only need to buy once every 6 months, like things on a spice rack. When you see a recipe that calls for salt or pepper or oregano or garlic, you probably already have that because you went out and bought a bunch of it. So you only need to buy the meat and the vegetables and the bread or the rice. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know watching videos is not gonna help teaching.
Understanding. I can talk you through it.
It's just
It's just the
almost
time.
crash. That's what I yell about, not the video. I get it. So let's practice these things.
So there are things that you're gonna learn by doing.
That's right.
And understand that you're gonna make mistakes sometimes. Everyone does. I don't care how good they are for what they do. I'm 58 and I still make mistakes. But the whole idea of practicing is to learn and understand and start to see when a mistake might come, or learn and understand. If you do make a mistake, to be able to say, okay, I know how that happened. I see where I made a mistake. And usually, once you make a mistake and you learn from it, you don't make that same mistake twice. So you can't remember not to get down on yourself if things don't always work the first time. If things don't make sense. And never be afraid to ask for help. Because there are a lot of people who are going to be very happy to help you. Or take a class. There are all sorts of colleges in the community always offers free classes on budgeting, time management. That's another word for scheduling, time management. You can always take free classes on it. And those are things that are, people will teach you that are very good at those things. So, if you ever say, Dad, hey, I saw this free course at whatever college, and it's about, how to do good on a job interview. Can I take that? Yeah, absolutely. You bet. I've done a few of those myself. Cooking classes are very popular. Although if you decide you want to be a chef someday, you'd actually take some formal training on cooking.
I might do that.
You know, you gotta see if you like it. I will say one thing, working in a kitchen.
There's dishes.
Well, no, there's all, I would say, in a kitchen at a restaurant, there's several different kinds of jobs to have.
Okay.
Depending on how much experience you have, and depending on if you're new or not new to the company or restaurant. Probably the most basic job in a whole kitchen is dishes. Rinsing the dishes, putting them in a dishwasher. That can be a lot of work. Well, kitchens are work. Working in a restaurant can be very hard work. And then you go to, you could be a prep chef, and then what that does is, a prep chef, all you do is chop up vegetables, peel potatoes, and cut things up and get it ready for the chef to use. That's a prep chef. And a lot of times they start working before the rest of the chefs do. You may have 100 potatoes to peel and wash. You may have 50 tomatoes to cut up. Remember, you're feeding a lot of people. So you get to be real good with a knife. You learn how to cut. Occasionally you nick your finger. Hopefully you don't. And then you get to the point where you can be a sous chef. You can be a line cook. And I think the top position is executive chef. And Big Boy doesn't have executive chefs. It was an executive chef would be at a fancy restaurant, like a fancy restaurant like the Kloss probably has an executive chef. They write the menus. They do all the buying. They buy all the food for the week. They help determine pricing. They can get paid very well. Working in a kitchen can be very stressful. I think to go onto Google or YouTube and look up kitchen videos at restaurants. I'm talking about restaurant videos, not like at home. I find cooking relaxing. But restaurants, I mean, if you've seen Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen, and what's screaming, in some of the very, very best paying restaurants, very, very best paying kitchens, the head chefs can be real assholes because they demand perfection. And I've never quite understood it. I mean, you're making food for somebody, but they want it to be, every plate of food has to be as perfect as possible. And you may be making 1,000 plates of food a night. So I think if you really are interested in learning more about that, watch some videos, and if you take a cooking class or understand, because there's schools that have entire programs that are culinary. It's called culinary studies, and there's all different levels to go through. And you wear a chef's hat and a jacket. You learn from other chefs that have experience. So that's one thing. I'm not trying to discourage you. You may enjoy it. It has a lot of structure. But on a busy night in a restaurant, you are very busy. It's hot. Kitchens are very hot. And you got to realize that occasionally, you might end up getting a little burned on the edge of the stove or something. That happens. I've done it a couple times. So this is something to understand. There are a lot of good jobs out there. I mean, it's very rewarding to be a chef. And as a really good chef, you make pretty good money. You make good independent money. Look at Gordon Ramsay. He started out peeling potatoes, and he's now a billionaire. So, of course, that doesn't happen to everybody. He was relentless. All he ever did was think about cooking. Even when he was at home, all he did was write recipes all day long. So, do you know the difference between a chef and a cook?
Yes.
Can you tell me what they are?
Well, people do their own. Never mind.
No, you're right. You start right.
No, I don't know.
Okay. A cook follows recipes. Usually. I'm a cook. I can see a recipe, I can make the food, I can follow the ingredients. A chef has the ability to make their own recipes without having to have a book. They know what flavors go good together. They know what kind of foods are popular. They understand, like, the spices that are used with Indian cooking or Mexican food. Each is a little different. That's everything in their head. They can do that. So what they would do, a good chef will say, I'll make my own recipe. And they will go get the ingredients and they will cook it themselves. And if they like it, they'll write it down as they go. But a cook follows recipes. That's what I say, Yeah, Pat says I'm a great chef. I'm not a chef. I mean, I guess I could come up with something original, but following a recipe that someone else has figured out is fine for me. And if you go to culinary school, you will start learning how to be a cook, follow recipes, but eventually as you study and once you work, you learn from other chefs, you'll start to understand how to make your own creations.
Okay.
And that's what made Gordon Ramsay famous is.
You want to drive to Philly, or you need to get back?
Let's go down to Ferndale and we'll come back.
All right.
Because I only get 75 miles of range left. I'll save a little bit this weekend.
All right.
So yeah. Every job has good points and bad points. No matter how cool a job's supposed to be, there's always some point of it. This is work.
I understand.
There's kitchen, grocery store. People that love their work. People say, "I love my job." That isn't always that common. You like your job. Some people have a talent. Papa could draw pictures. Papa was an artist. So he was able to, early on, find his job, what he was supposed to be doing. He did it for 40 years. That's not quite the way the world is anymore with jobs, but, it's like, I liked working in the emergency room at the hospital. But it wasn't always perfect. There were a lot of nights I left there thinking, God, this sucks. Being a paramedic, a lot of times sucked. Cop sucks. I mean, there are moments that are really good, and then there are some that are just a pain in the ass. No matter how good the job, team job, anything. If I could be a sergeant in the Los Angeles Police Department, I think 80% of my work would be a pain in the ass. But there's those 20% that is really good, and you really help someone to make a difference. Like be a paramedic. I can speak to that clearer. I'd say 70% of the work was just hard and frustrating and tiring, boring. And then there'd be the 30% where you got to do something and you saved a life or you made someone's life better. And that reminded you why you wanted to do that job. And that made everything okay. Even if I won the lottery today, and of course I wouldn't really work again, but if I had a job fixing up old cars, which is something I really like, I remember when I was doing with Papa before you were born, fixing up the green race car, and the red race car, all this stuff. You couldn't find a part for the car, or the part didn't fit, or you broke something where you're fixing something else. So yeah, anything. Because like work, if it was fun, they would call it fun. But they call it work because it's work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was fun, you probably wouldn't get paid for it. Other people have jobs they love, and every day with them is great. They're the lucky ones. They're really the lucky ones. But if you can get a job that you mostly like, that helps take care of your needs and wants, and you can learn, and you've got room to advance. That's one thing we never talk about is advancement in a job. No matter what sort of a job we start, we want to try to advance, and that means to go forward. Go forward to more responsibility, to I'm gonna turn here, this traffic is sucky. More responsibility, to more money, and more knowledge. That's advancement. So there are people who talk about dead-end jobs. A dead-end job is where you go in, you do the same job every day, you're not going to advance to a better job level in the company, you're not going to make any more money, and that's all you're ever going to do until you quit and go to change your job. Okay. It's called a dead-end job. We want to try to avoid those. A lot of times when we do our first job, when we're young like you, minimum wage job, kind of a dead-end job, because you're there to get experience in working and managing your schedule and managing your money. So your first job is almost never your career. It's never the job you get into and stick with. My first job was McDonald's. I worked there for 2 weeks and hated it. Then I got a job sweeping a floor at a car stereo store. I got a job unloading parts from an auto parts truck. Those jobs were not meant to be my life, be my career, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't have high hopes for that. But when you get a job, either like a restaurant, if you start as a dishwasher, you have, it will take time.
Eat dinner, go home?
Yeah, if you're hungry for it.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm going to heat it up on the stove. It tastes better than the microwave.
You want to heat it in the stove?
Yeah, let's take about 10 minutes.
Sure.
But you'll need to empty the dishwasher.
Take care of that.
Thank you. But you ideally want to get into a job where you have opportunity to advance. If you get a job, you know, doing dishes at a restaurant, and you show your willingness to learn, you may end up being trained as a prep chef, and then from that you may end up being trained as a sous chef or a wine cook. And after that, you know, because for chefs, it isn't always going to a school to get the, you know, it's like Gordon Ramsay says, you can go to a school, get your culinary degree, right? But you need to be trained under somebody. That's where you really learn. That's like the police academy. Police academy is, you know, 16, 24 weeks long. You're taught by the book how to be a cop. But most every cop's going to tell you the first thing you do when you go to be a real cop on the road, you forget everything they taught you, because you're now going to learn about the real world, and it's going to be different from what you were taught in school. But ultimately, it's going to be what keeps you successful, is your ability to learn, adapt, and to learn from people that have done the job. Because not every teacher has done the job they do. You know, they'll give you a school is going to give you a good little bit of skill to get you going, but you're really going to learn on the job. They call OJT on the job training. Dishwashing will be on the job training, because every place is a little bit different. You're going to learn under somebody who's going to probably teach you for a couple of days how to do the dishes and how to get everything set, and then after that you'll be expected to do it yourself. You're expected to do it yourself, and then they are available to answer questions. After about, you know, a month, you shouldn't have to answer academic questions. You should know it all, and then you just do the job. And then if you're a hard worker and you show interest in other things, you know, if you're asked some of the chefs, cooks questions, and you keep doing the dishes like you're supposed to, someone may say to you, "Hey, this guy is he's sick today. Just called in. Can you do prep with so and so, and they'll teach you?" Sure, I can do that. You show willingness. And once you do prep, was cutting vegetables and water. Once you do prep once or twice, they'll be like, "Okay, well, crap, this guy never came back to work. William has been doing this. Let's go ahead and finish teaching him and let him be the prep chef." And that's advancement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Come on, dude. What the hell are you doing?
He's doing. Yeah, back up.
What an idiot. He almost hit you.
That's all right. So that's called advancement. Like I said, your first few part-time jobs. Now, if you work at, let's say you work at Holiday or a grocery store, and you do very well, and you stock and you help people, and you show the people that work with you that you're really willing to learn, and you do a good job, then they'll be like, "Okay, well, let's see if we can teach you to be the cashier, or let's see if you can do work in the meat area or something." And that's advancement. And a lot of times with advancement, it's really on us how hard we want to impress people. So yeah, okay, your first couple jobs probably won't be room for advancement. They're just going to be teaching you how to work, build a work ethic, communicate with people. You never know. And there are jobs you go into thinking you're going to advance and you don't. It's like this company I'm leaving next week. I went in there with the goal of getting full time, and I busted my ass for 10 months, 11 months, and I realized there's no advancement there. Okay, that's the bulb it's on, is it? Yeah, right. Fuck, that's the right one. The light keeps coming on. Yeah, right side, fuck. So I just realized they hired 2 people over me for full time and they didn't consider me for it. Well,
Hey,
I'm not-
explain. Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you explain to me why they didn't put you in full time anymore? It's because the client.
Well, that crazy client was an issue, and then they were running out of new projects to give me.
Is Andrew still work there?
Who?
Andrew?
Andy?
Oh yeah, Andy. Sorry.
Yeah, Andy Weishar. Yeah, he still works there. I'm gonna stay in touch with him. And
Mm.
Joe still works there.
They got full time.
No, well, Andy does. Yeah, Joe doesn't. Joe won't do it. He makes more money staying as a freelancer for them.
Mm-hmm. So, is that everything how to be independent mostly? Me being independent.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of it. We're gonna always think of new things we're gonna want to learn.
Okay.
Um,
Let me know. So text to me.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a process. It's going to be over the next few years. We're going to really hit this hard and work at it. I'll think of things like how to cancel a subscription to something. If you've ever got a streamer you don't like, you want to save some money.
Okay.
There are ways to cancel that. You probably should have that in mind. We'll teach you that.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I mean, yeah, there's always little things you're going to learn about. You know, how to properly take care of your household appliances, how to tell when something's broken and you need to replace it, how to change a light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that sounds simple, but you haven't done it yet, so. How to keep safe when you're out in public. That's a big one. You know, what to do in case of an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Those are little things that we assume we know how to do. Like right now, if you need to call 911, do you know how to do it?
No.
That's important. You just know that. I mean, all you do is you go to your phone, push 911 and dial.
Yeah. I think the issue would be where I am at a city.
Well, if you don't exactly know where you're at, most of the dispatchers, the fire department, police department, they have a computer system that will show where you're at. They'll ping your phone, and they can find it. I mean, if you really don't know, but we'll learn how to figure out where you're at quickly, and how to communicate an emergency, and how you want to save. One of the first things is please be patient. I have special needs and a speech impairment. And if you say that right away, then they'll listen to you real close, or they have you repeat things. So yeah. But those are some things that we assume we don't know how to do. We don't always know how to do that. So there's a car accident there, some in the intersection. Yeah, car goes down.
Well, thank you for telling me all this today.
Oh, well, like I
Now,
said,
if I have to move to my mom's, I know everything.
well, you know a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that.
I hope not, but you will get a job. I know you will.
Oh, I will. I mean,
I know you will.
I think that it's something we can keep working on, and your mom might have some ways to help you with some of these.
Mm-hmm. My mom can teach me to be independent too.
Yeah.
Because she knows being independent.
But yeah, actually, practicing is going to be important. They call that the practical lesson. Practical. So when we were tested to be paramedics, we would do a written test, and we would do a practical test. The practical test was hands-on. So any practical skills, so you practice with your hands, typing, or writing, your hand stuff. Got the one tomorrow.
Much for the week. Alright. Thank you.
You got your DVDs and you bring them?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Now I got a question.
Uh-huh.
When we change the address of the Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
not gonna get confused, are they? Because now they get Netflix too.
Well, you're gonna have to read the DVD when it comes in. It should tell you what it is. It'll have either your name on it,
Mm-hmm.
or it'll have.
I mean, I know that.
Will the Netflix people get confused?
Yeah.
No.
No.
They know how to do that.
My mom said they might get already confused because now they get Netflix to her house and.
No, they won't get confused. This is a big company that they mastered. DVDs. So
After I watch it, do the address.
remind me.
I will.
All right, buddy.
All right. Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna pee, then I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go keep that in a pan, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gotta do the dishes before.
I do it right now.
Okay, buddy. Ow! Motherfucker! Why do I keep hurting myself? God, I smacked my knee, I smacked my head, I smacked my hands. This is stupid. Oh. Alright, so yeah, just set another dishwasher.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Do that in a few minutes.
Yes. I love you, Daddy. I just want you to die. Yeah, I can die. That's looking beautiful. This is a nice. I just did the clean dishes.
Thank you very much.
You want me to clean the oven?
No, but I'll take care of it.
I mean the stove, what it was called?
No, I appreciate it.
Alright. I am kidding. I'm gonna get. Let me know you need anything else.
Thank you, brother.
I am so